Okay guys, we're going to be talking about a project that I'm working on with my master's program. And so the big issue is we're having, in all of our classes, we're obviously seeing some decline in student work, decline in turning stuff in on time, all those issues. So my plan, I began the year with Remind 101 and having students use this app in the classroom. However, not all students joined it. I just gave it as a suggestion. And some parents joined it as well, and some people do use it. However, in order to increase student work, organization, and their communication, because we all know that they don't want to communicate in class sometimes, and they're all about their use of technology anymore, so we're going to reintroduce this. And you guys can use this in your classes as well if you want to, and I can show you how to set up an account.
Have you seen it work other places?
Yes. Some of the teachers in the 8th grade that we work with at a feeder school said that they used it in their classrooms and that it worked really well. So basically the topic for this project is to increase student awareness, communication, and organization. The vision statement for this is to provide an effective learning environment for students and help them develop real world skills that can apply both inside and outside the classroom. And this includes developing organization skills and awareness of deadlines and expectations both within school and real world settings. Because they're going to have to develop organization and awareness of what's going on in order to succeed outside of these walls as well. So this is just going to help them. So as we talked about before, some of our bigger problems that we're seeing right now is we're having students, they're showing a decline in their work, turning stuff in on time, and they need some additional assistance in developing an awareness for due dates, communicating more, that's a big thing, and being organized. That way they can benefit from this as they're progressing through high school, because we have to establish these organization skills right now, otherwise they're gonna struggle, because we know that work progressively gets harder, and they have more work as their courses get to higher levels as well. So basically, once again, I introduced the app at the beginning of the school year, and students and parents were encouraged to receive classroom updates, due date reminders, and other information that the school needed us to send out. However, only 74 of the 150 kids that we had signed up for it. Now, once again, I just provided this as a suggestion, and it was the 74 that volunteered to do that. But I want to increase that number. So in order to do that, I'm going to relaunch this introduction in my classes. So I'll go through all the instructions on how to join the app, what we're using the app for, the importance of it, and all that good stuff. And I'll go step by step with them through the process of signing up for it. You can also connect this app with, we all use Google Classroom, so you can connect Google Classroom to it, and you can actually post like a connection of the assignments in there as well. So if you say, like, you put ACT Practice 1 in as an assignment that they need to work on, and you send out that reminder, it can attach.
Can it tell you if they look at it, so you'll know when you see it?
Yes. Yeah. You can set it up to do that as well. They can respond directly to it, or there's an option, like, you know how you have on Facebook, like and all that stuff, and like the little emojis. They have that kind of communication in there as well. So if they've seen it, they can give a thumbs up and whatnot. So one of the articles that I found that reinforces the fact that this works is is new technologies in the classroom. And it just talks about how obviously these kids that we're having are technology driven and they're becoming more proficient with it every day. So why not include more technology in the classroom as we become more familiar with it as well? That way we can get higher quality, or hope to get a higher quality of output, depth of knowledge, and all that good stuff. The second article, using Remind 101 in the classroom as a classroom communication. This one directly talks about how the benefits of using Remind 101. So one of the things that it said is far too often students and instructors communicate at a minimal level that can create a major problem. We know we have students in the classroom that they're not going to communicate with us one-on-one because they're just not that type of kid. However, if they had this option to communicate with us digitally, they'd be more apt to do that. And you can connect this to different devices. So if the student doesn't have an iPhone or any kind of phone or anything, they can sign up to receive email updates because most of them check their email as well. So that was one of they carry multiple devices, so that can connect to any device. They rely on text messages as primary communication, and they're moving away from email and personal life, so we have to rethink the way that we're communicating with them as well. So if we just make that step and make this connection now, it provides for smoother transitions. One of the other things it said is while it's possible to manually send text messages to students, the process is often cumbersome. You're not going to sit there and obviously individually message students. You can send out one text for everybody that's in your class that you've set up, and it goes straight out to them. You can communicate if somebody responds to you and they send like a direct message to you. You can do it that way, and that's pretty beneficial. I've had parents directly contact me. There's one in particular that will, if I say I updated grades because they don't have access to their Infinite Campus at the time or something, or they're away from their computer, she'll message me and say, how's so-and-so doing in class, and I can directly message back and forth with her.
Is it confidential?
Yes. You don't have to worry about any phone numbers or anything being connected to it because it doesn't show that. Like where you create the account, it just shows the account information. It doesn't interfere with, you can't see their number or anything like that. It just gives them an account. So it's completely confidential. You can add, principals can be added to it as well. So if we wanted to add a principal or a couple of them to it, we could do that as well. That way they could see what was going on, if we had any issues or anything. You can also, you know how we do on Google Classroom, we can go ahead and schedule things like ahead of time and it won't show up until a certain time. You can do that with this as well. You can like go ahead and say if I have extra time this evening and I want to go and I know I'm going to do an assignment or I know I'm going to update grades at a certain time, I can go ahead and put that in there while I have time to do it, and it can schedule to go out at a specific time as well. So that's another benefit of it, because we all know sometimes we forget to do stuff. I know I do. Alright, so basically, that's what the articles say. The action plan, what we're going to do, the first step, I'm relaunching the app in my classroom and telling how it benefits them and whatnot, showing them the instructions on how to join it, going step by step with them, giving them the code. The next step was going to be provide them with their account information and set of instructions. Step 3, begin implementing regular use of the app, so send it out weekly. I don't know how many times I'm going to be doing it a day, but I know a couple times a week for sure. Send out reminders of assignment due dates, grade update information saying, hey, grades are updated for everyone. School event reminders, so if we have something important going on later in the week, just saying, hey, this is going on at this time on this day. And then step 4, monitor the progress as for the remainder of the year to track student performance. So as I get more kids added to it, I'll keep track of the dates and whatnot and see if they're actually staying on top of it more. Because I know one of our issues, a bunch of kids are struggling right now because they have a lack of motivation and they're not as organized as they were at the beginning of the year. So After I relaunch the app, I'm gonna see if we had an increase in student accounts and parent accounts, and try to figure out, like I said, look at the results and see how that's impacted us. Obviously, there's gonna be an increase in communication and student awareness because they're not gonna have an excuse of why. It's just another thing to keep them on track. And I'm also gonna recommend that our sophomore teachers use this as well, just to kind of keep it consistent. So, so there's that. You all have any questions? All right. So over the next couple of days, I'll relaunch in my classroom. If you want to use this as well, we can create you an account. It takes maybe 5 minutes, and all they'll have to do, they won't have to join again. If you're going to use it in your classes, you'll just have to give them a code, like we do for Google Classroom, and they'll just add the code and they'll be added to yours. So just let me know what we want to do, and we'll go from there.
Sounds good.